Let's put the spotlight on Kazam EV Tech, which offers several charging products and services for electric vehicles. In fact, it has said that it has raised $8 million in a funding round led by Vertex Ventures. In fact, existing investors include Avana Capital, Alteria Capital, amongst others, who also participated in this funding round. But how does the company aim to deploy these funds? Let's get the founder to speak about this and more. Thank you very much, Mr. Akshay Shekhar, who's the founder and CEO of Kazam. Thank you very much, Akshay, for speaking with us and taking the time out. Let's first begin by speaking about how these funds will be deployed. I understand that the company's focus will be to bolster technology, but delve a bit deeper into that in terms of specific segments that you're really looking at boosting, and how are you looking at increasing market access?
Yeah. Kazam raised Series A3, which is around $8 million. Our nature has been collaborative. So we've been collaborating with a lot of vehicle OEMs in the market, 2, 3-wheelers. We count Bajaj, TVS, Mahindra, Hero MotoCorp as one of our top customers. And also e-commerce players like Big Basket, Let's Transport, Mahindra Logistics, and so on and so forth. So the EV industry in itself is getting through multiple pin codes and what in the market. Currently, we are around 4,000 to 5,000 pin codes, and we want to get to 10,000 odd pin codes. So that we want to solve is we want to get to more pin codes as we penetrate into the tier 3, tier 4 cities. That is one of the major reasons why we've raised capital. The second thing is the same set of vehicle OEMs are also going to other markets, typically SAARC markets, Southeast Asian markets, where they already have been exporting all of these vehicles in the past or decade, etc. So Kazam plans to collaborate with them and get to these markets as well for market access, and we need capital to get over there. In terms of our product offering, very recently we actually launched LEV DC, which is a fast charger for 2 and 3-wheelers. And this allows any vehicle to actually charge in 20 to 30 minutes, especially the 2 and 3-wheelers. And it is interoperable in nature. It's not a proprietary tech. So it's kind of democratizing the whole fast charging ecosystem in the space. So Kazam is working on building and ensuring this becomes a very robust product and can be reaching multiple other pin codes as well. And that is the second set of development from a product side standpoint of view for which we have raised capital.
Akshay, you're speaking about pin codes, so give us a sense of your presence currently. I believe you're present in 5,000 pin codes. How much do you plan to scale those up? Since for many startups, Southeast Asia is a good market. So do you plan to expand into that market as well and some of those geographies as well? Give us some insight into that as well.
Yes. So as I mentioned, we are roughly around 4,000 odd pin codes at this point of time. And we would plan to get to around 10,000 pin codes by the end of 7-8 months, end of this financial year. The new markets that we are typically targeting are the SAARC regions of Sri Lanka, Nepal, and as well as Southeast Asian markets of Malaysia, Indonesia at this point of time.
Very, very interesting, Akshay, that you're looking at expanding into not just India, but also other markets in the Southeast Asian region. You also spoke about integrating EV charging devices and partnering with OEMs just a short while back. So how are you looking at deepening those partnerships across the spectrum of EVs, PVs, and of course, e-commerce companies as well, which are important a part of piece of this overall pie?
Awesome. So there are 2 categories of vehicles. One is the passenger vehicle, which individuals buy and use it for commute. And then there is this commercial vehicle, or it can be used again for cargo, for moving of goods, or it could be moving of passengers in your auto rickshaws, etc. Kazam has been actually focusing on, first it focused on the cargo category, and that's how we entered into a lot of e-commerce players. Today I'm there in almost 95% touch points of Big Basket, where each of their warehouses and dark stores have Kazam charge points, which allow the third-party logistics player to come and charge their vehicle over there. This ensures that the range anxiety drops significantly for most of these drivers. and ensures that BigBasket has vehicles that can be delivering goods on electric vehicle and move to a more sustainable way. And this has actually created a network effect where not just BigBasket but other e-commerce players have also moved to electric vehicles, and thanks to the technology that has come and has shown reliability in this market. On the passenger vehicle OEM side, we first started building community charge points. Now, these are charge points that are branded in the name of the vehicle OEM in itself, and they are put up in housing societies, workplaces, universities, etc. These, could be from large vehicle brands, Ather, TVS, etc. And the second set of charge points that we currently sell are your personal charge points. So whenever you buy a vehicle, a charge point gets bundled along with that, which is installed in your home. And that is typically a Kazam charge point, especially in the 2 and 3-wheeler category today in the market. So, and it's in the EV industry itself, you have most of the players in the auto ancillary industry itself, you have most of the players use similar ancillaries to get technology out in the market. And that's exactly how Kazam functions.
Right, Akshay. So you have a whole host of partnerships already in place, and you're looking at expanding those even further. And of course, you're not missing out on that e-commerce sector, and that's definitely one sector to tap into. But Akshay, what's your long-term view in terms of competition? Because you have several players already with deep inroads into the ecosystem. So how are you planning to stand out amidst so much of competition? I was just talking about how Ola Electric is looking at deepening its base in the ecosystem, and IIFL Securities has listed out several challenges, which also includes the presence of many players. So how are you looking at standing out?
I think we've faced enough of competition as we began Kazam. To give you a quick snapshot, when we started Kazam, obviously we were not a brand at that point of time. We were just very nascent, just beginning over here. And our goal was always to sell to top tier brands in the market. So building a whole brand in itself was a very, very challenging aspect, proving that the product is reliable, it can scale very quickly, and we have the right partners to ensure that this product will work in the market. That was the second biggest challenge. And I think the third biggest challenge that we faced were most of the competition that we had were distributing products were almost free of charge, or at 1 rupee, etc. And to tackle that, especially when you had to sell at full price, was I think the biggest challenge that we took over. But the product and its capability proved much, much better than the competitions giving out at cheaper prices, and that has really worked on Kazam's flavor. And finally, there were a lot of other products in the market that were imported, and they were not of great quality. So that actually also was a wave that we tackled very quickly in the last couple of years. Today, I think we are not really worried about the competition and in this sense. We are one of the leaders, especially in the 3-wheeler category. We hold more than 70% market share, and in the 2-wheeler category, roughly around 40-45% market share. So we are at a very sweet spot, and it's a very, very large market to kind of capture at this point of time. So even if competition comes, everyone can take their own pie and share in this space.
All right. Thank you very much, Akshay, for taking the time out and speaking with ET Now. You're not really bothered by the competition. You have your own role and play in the EV ecosystem. Here's wishing all the very best and hope to have you soon on the channel as well. But